Yo, welcome to FKU Africa podcast. This is your host, Maneza F8. So, yeah, man, it's been a long time since I recorded. I know I had that ban from YouTube, so that's why I haven't been coming to you so much lately. I did post an episode last week, episode 39. This is episode 40. This is appreciation of what I have achieved up to now from where I've started around the time of heavy lockdowns. The thought came to me that yeah, I should start something, man. So how it started, it was because of not doing anything, not going anywhere, just work during the weekends. But now that things are a little bit open, it's a little bit hard now to record all the time because there's a lot to do, too much work to do. My music also that I'm doing on the weekend, kind of busy with other things, man. But I know I'm just gonna keep on making time for you guys just to drop you some knowledge about what is going on around our communities, our black communities, wherever you are. If you're a black person, I'm coming to you with this information because I got your back, man. I got your back, yeah, for real, for real. Whatever it needs to happen, it will happen. Whatever it needs to be done. We will try to do it. We'll get more interviews as the time goes. I haven't been active in getting interviews because of the ban. I was waiting for the 30-day, and then it was extended to another 2 weeks. So yeah, but I'm active now on trying to make sure that we do get all kinds of interviews so that will be interacting with people, but this is not the podcast for interviews, man. This is a podcast for me to express what I'm feeling. It's my therapy. This is why I heal because a black man is struggling out here, man. A black man is going through a lot in these streets of South Africa, in these hills and mountains of Africa. It's not easy being a black man in our land. Know what I'm saying? So this is how I pour my heart out. This is how I heal. This is how I get to talk about what I'm feeling. So without wasting any time, let's get to the topic of today, which it's not going to be that long. It's about the violence that is keep on happening, man, in Mozambique. It's really a sad story that is going in there. So what is happening in Mozambique if you don't know? But if you're an African, you should know these things. But what is happening in Mozambique is really sad, man. It's sad. If you watch series like Sleepers, series like uh, what is this series with Kerry Medicine? Uh, it's, I just forgot. It's Homeland. Yeah, it's Homeland. Series is like that where these Muslim jihadists, which they call ISIS, they plan and take over small cities and bomb whatever they don't need and take over the resources, which is what is happening mostly in places like Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. You see, this is what America has been portraying as if they are fighting it. You see, but what they are doing, they are preserving what they are getting from that side. That's a story for another time. So these jihadis that invaded Mozambique. It's been coming for a long time. I did mention it a little bit about last year, but it's been coming for a long time. But now it's really serious. Now people are dying, including people from South Africa, people from Zambia, people from Kenya. So what are these guys doing? They get into a village or a small city and start abducting young kids, young girls, and rape them, and behead young kids who are boys, and behead their fathers in front of the children, and enslave these girls, and rape them repeatedly, and marry them. You see, so it's more like what Boko Haram was doing, but is still doing in Nigeria. But it's sort of a same thing. Those are all jihadis, those Muslim, so-called Muslim troops, because this is not the Muslim, the real Muslim. Real Muslims, they don't go around hurting people. Real Muslims are the people of peace, the people of Allah, as they say. So these guys, they also say they're doing what they're doing in the name of Allah. So those guys, what they are doing. They are terrorists. They are terrorizing everyone in the country of our forefathers, Mozambique. So what I've heard is that they've taken over some of the lands and secure some mines. And what is the goal and the mission of what is really going on? So these jihadists, they do go to those countries with resources and secure these resources. So their goal, according to their code of conduct and their charters, is to rule the world in the name of Allah, in the Allah way, in the Arabic way. So, in order for them to achieve those kind of goals that they set for themselves, is to take over in places with got some kind of wealth. So, this is why they went to secure the north of Nigeria, which has got oil. This is why they secure a lot of Arabic Middle East countries which got oil. This is why they now secure a lot of land which got mines, because they want to extract all the money that they can and sell whatever they get for cheap money in the markets, in the black markets. So this is what is happening. And it's really sad for our leaders not to be able to assist, and now it's showing their weakness, because I've been saying that whatever it is, what the so-called African Union, the so-called SEDEC, is just a name. It's toothless. They can't do anything. They are showing, they shown many years ago that they are toothless. A lot of incidents that have happened throughout Africa where they couldn't do anything. They were supposed to be doing something, but they couldn't do anything. So it's time now for us as people to be aware of such things, because why? These people that are called jihadists, they're not appearing out of nowhere. These are your kids. These are your brothers. These are your sisters. These are your fathers. So whatever they are doing, they are not appearing out of nowhere. These are the people that you may know. Those people they are recruiting currently. Some of the kids that are under their influence, they are recruited by force. When they attack a village, they take some boys under their wing and start to train them in the jihadist ways. They take boys out of Africa. They are constantly recruiting. They are constantly recruiting. So your job is to make sure that you address these things with your kids. Your job is to make sure that you address these things with your brothers, with your sisters, because they use sisters as well to carry bombs. You know what is happening in the movies. This is not only happening in the movies. There are a lot of stories that these things have been happening all over Europe. But now it's here in Africa. This is where now we should wake up as well. So what I've heard is that they conducted Russia to come to their aid. They conducted Russia to come to their aid. At first, they started with America, but America didn't respond kindly, because they were still with their in-house politics and in-house wars about who's gonna take charge between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So this is what has been happening. So America was delaying their response, but Russia seems to be promising to come and assist to send soldiers, but that also will come in a price. So the origin of these things, they are not appearing out of nowhere. The origin of these things, they are originated and they are orchestrated by the European countries. These things, this is my humble assumption and my kind of understanding throughout the years on what has been happening in Africa in terms of coups and stuff. All the coups were directed by America, CIA, and Europe, NATO, and all these kind of people. We're talking Gaddafi, Thomas Sankara, we're talking Kwame Nkrumah. We're talking all those African leaders who are focusing on making sure that Africa is great. All those leaders, they are nowhere to be found. All their coups were orchestrated and were carried out by, guess who? By America and all these countries. So yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad that this is happening. We know that for Africa to go on and be great, we need a proper leaders. But whenever a proper leader is emerging, whenever a proper leader is showing the toughness, the boldness, is being eliminated. This has been happening throughout the years. We know with the people that I've just mentioned. Those are just a few. These things have been happening in all over in South America, Venezuela, Cuba, in Vietnam, in all these other countries. These things have been happening. There are people who are behind whatever you think that is happening in your backyard. There are people who are behind it. Nothing goes unnoticed. Nothing that just come out of nowhere. So the situation that is happening in Mozambique is also there's a similar situation that is happening right now in Nigeria under President Buhari in Nigeria. When Buhari was coming into power, he went to promise the mercenaries from Niger and took them and hide them in the bushes. He thought that the former president was gonna retaliate and refuse the power. So he had his little army roaming around ready to attack. But now, since the former president just let it go and didn't refuse, those people didn't go home, go back to Niger. They surfaced and started causing terror in the nearby villages on the North America in places like Abuja. They are causing havoc even now. There's huge fights between Nigerians and Niger people. Those are all Africans. They are fighting together because one leader wanted power. He didn't think of the ramifications of what was going to happen when that power is being restored. According to what I know and what I heard, is that the leader of that little army was paid off and was sent home. He did go home with few of the people that he was, but most of the soldiers didn't want to go home because there's nothing to go home to. They saw that Nigeria is a little bit nicer than Niger because Niger is a shit house. So they thought, okay, now what is good is just to hang around in there and start terrorizing the people. So yeah, they did that, and it's happening. It's been happening. Yeah, they are also raping women there. They are taking over people's home. They are robbing houses. They are just causing up because they are also armed. So yeah, I've heard a lot about what is happening from my friends in Nigeria and my friends from Nigeria who are in South Africa. Salute to Mike, who's been a great friend of mine from Nigeria. Has been providing me with all kinds of information and kind of conduct. Soon I will be interviewing him and just to learn about what is happening. So another story that I need to allude to is the death of the president of Tanzania, President John Magufuli. So that's another crazy story if you think about. A President Magufuli was a kind of a leader who was more like Gaddafi, Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, who was pushing African consciousness and the black consciousness and wanted to liberate people's mind from the West and setting people up with their own resources and their own independence. So so what it did, first of all, it rejected the 10 billion loan from China during the COVID times, and he also didn't go to state trips outside Africa. He reduced the cabinet size to 30, to 30, from 30 to 19. He banned government officials from foreign trips and abolished their tax exemptions. So, and he also accused UK companies uh, ISIS mining of illegal mining and ordered them to pay 190 billion for under valuing Tanzania's gold export. So this guy was brave. He was causing havoc in the West. He was a threat in the West, from what I read, from I've been reading about him. So over 250 containers of their were of their gold were seized at Dar es Salaam airport. They paid 300 million and gave Tanzania 15% ownership in their mines. So this guy wasn't playing. He was all about business. He was all about taking taking what belonged to Africa to Africans, because all those mines that belongs to Britain and whoever, they are mining our resources. So he was getting whatever he can from those people to make sure that his people in Kenya, they are living a nice life like the kids of those mine owners, whoever they are. So they say also Magufuli reduced free education in government schools in 2016. He acquired 6 Tanzanian planes, expanded Terminal 2 of Julius Nyerere Airport. He built Tanzania standard gauge railways. He also he also okay, that's not really important. So it's the same thing as he also took over another mine. Yeah, he also built hospitals. He built Uhuru Hospital project called Refine Plant and bus terminals. So he was the man of action. So as Gaddafi, if you can go back and watch his episode, you would know what he did throughout the years, why he was killed. So how did Magufuli die? So what happened is he rejected to acknowledge COVID-19 at first. He said it must be tested in the goats. He also told WHO that there will be no one from Tanzania who will be vaccinated. They don't want their vaccine. They will only test people if the test kits are coming out of Africa. Africa must invent test kits and the laboratories to test, and also the vaccine. They will only use African medicine. pity, out of the blue, gets, the guy gets COVID-19. Not even a week or two, he dies out of COVID-19, and he starts to be a laughing stock in America. Fox News and all these guys, they were making jokes about his death, saying that the guy who refused COVID-19 dies of COVID-19. It's a karma. But we all know what happened. I don't want to say that what he was killed by America. I won't say that his death was orchestrated. No, I won't. I won't say that COVID-19 was orchestrated. I will never say that. But there's a smell of a fish somewhere. It will come out. We will know. We will see. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode 50. We celebrate. Let's share and make sure that we go at least to 400 to celebrate the 40. 400, and also make sure that you bring those likes. Hit that likes, but it's very important to hit that like button. Subscribe and keep it safe. If you're not feeling well, you know what they say. Take 3 deep breaths. Let's do it now. After that, and say, I'm happy. It's gonna be all right. Something will come up. A plan will come up. Fikiria kwa undani, ndugu, Tamaku. I'm out.